The Mirage 2000 is in the hot public glare after a malfunction caused one to crash into the sea earlier this week. Critics say the jet should be decommissioned as it's expensive to fly and hard to find parts for. But one retired officer says it would be a waste to scrap the fighters, which were procured at a great expense. He says the fleet might be 25 years old, but it still has enormous potential in a battle scenario.
Mirage 2000 fighter jets are a mainstay of Taiwan's Air Force. Earlier this week, a pilot was forced to eject from a Mirage 2000 during training after detecting an equipment malfunction. Although he survived, the incident has thrust Taiwan's 25-year-old fleet of Mirages into the spotlight.
Currently, the availability rate for Mirage 2000s is 60%. How does this number compare with other jets? Is this rate higher or lower than that of other countries? Taiwan's 60% is higher than the global average. Because we need to be battle ready, we need to have this much of our air fleet available for use.
Here's how Taiwan's three main jets stack up. The homegrown Indigenous Defense Fighter has an availability rate of 80%. The US-made F-16V stands at roughly 75%. The French-made Mirage 2000 has the lowest rate of 60%. Not only does the Mirage 2000 have the lowest availability rate, it's also the most expensive to operate at 800,000 NT per hour. The F-16V and IDF cost 160,000 NT and 250,000 NT per hour, respectively. That's less than a third of the cost of using a Mirage 2000.
The supply chain for the Mirage 2000 is long, being far away in Europe and France. It's a rare model, so keeping the availability rate high is not easy. It's not easy because its supply chain is complicated. That leads to a very high maintenance cost. The reason they can reach 60% might be that when planes are grounded for weekly inspections or factory maintenance, some of their parts are removed and installed on operable planes. This keeps the availability rate up. That's probably what's happening.
Taiwan has signed a deal with the U.S. for 66 F-16V Block 70 fighter jets. They're due to be delivered by 2026. With new planes on the horizon, there are calls for Taiwan to phase out its Mirage 2000 fleet, but some say that would be a waste.
So much money has been poured into the Mirage 2000 fleet. We purchased all the jets, and we have such good pilots. The Mirage's maintenance system, maintenance equipment, and maintenance test rigs are all operating normally to this day. The only issue is that procuring spare parts is somewhat time-consuming, and that the parts are slightly more expensive. But hundreds of billions of dollars have already been invested in this fleet. I don't think we should decommission it. The Mirage 2000 has tremendous potential to play a superior role in air warfare.
The retired officer says Taiwan has a limited budget for arms procurement and that it should make the most of its existing equipment.